Hello, everybody, and welcome to what I'm calling Raising Geeks with Autism. My life as a father of four, raising two typical children and two autistic children. The term geeks pertains to my children and not children in general because my kids have decided to grow up like their geeky father. I have four children. My two oldest children are autistic. They've suffered with, they have autism. It's not a suffer, it's not, I love them just the same. This is just how we deal with the difference between two autistic children and two typical children. Like I said, I still have four children. My two youngest are not autistic. They are typical, which is the term that we have started using in the autistic community for children because normal is more of a state of mind and less of a label. We don't like to label. I have two autistic children and two typical children. Sometimes it is like living in two different families. We have to raise the two with autism in a very different manner than we do have to raise our two typical children. There's difference in mentalities, there's difference in playtime, there's difference in love, there's difference in everything imaginable. Autism often does create barriers between parents and children. Meltdowns, sometimes they see things more important than we see things. Cleaning your room and stuff we know is for all kids, but autistic kids see gaming and certain things in a very important light where maybe other things are not. Same thing goes with the siblings. Between their siblings, they have very different attitudes. Where some want to play with toys, they want to go outside, they want to ride their bikes, they want to do things that typical children do. The autistic boys, they want to stay inside, they want to stay sheltered, they don't want to be with other kids. Repetition is also a big part of autism. Not so much repetition as it is routine. Routine. Everything has to be done the same way it was done the day before. Getting up, eating first, then brushing teeth, then doing sleep the same time of night. This is all part of autism. If things don't go their way with repetition or routine, meltdowns tend to happen. Meltdowns are like a really bad tantrum where the autistic child throws themselves on the ground. They have over simple things where you had dinner at 4 o'clock instead of 4:30. They also have very addictive personalities, and by that I mean they refuse to get off things. They do not listen. And it causes more of the same meltdowns. A similar situation that we were talking about in the previous slide. Getting a child just to give up a video game becomes a very hard time. They also focus on those things, video games, comic books, more than the average child. They spend a lot of time with Lego. It's routine, it's organized, it's the same thing all the time. They can build what they want. It does help the thought process. Being the thought process, they are very studious. They do spend every hour when they come home, they do their homework right away because it has to be done, and now it's become routine, like I had mentioned before. But they do very well in school. They pay very close attention to the most minute details, and they get straight A's. But they are socially awkward because of that. Social awkwardness is a big part of autism. Autism creates barriers between peers, and it makes it difficult. They don't know how to initiate conversation. They don't know how to move forward. They don't know how to start things off making a friendship. It creates a lot of problems. They do have very orderly fashions of doing everything. Everything has to be lined up just so. Because of that, the room is always clean. The room is generally well taken care of, but everything has its place. That's the puzzle piece that goes with the autism, helps with that. They like to talk. When they do get talking, they won't stop. Often it's irrelevant to the conversation at hand, and they can just blow past you, not paying attention to a thing you said because it's not relevant to them. And what they do talk about often is irrelevant. They have that mindset, but they are very loving. They offer very much love. They're very affectionate when they do get close to you, and they need extra love as opposed to other children. While other children will go and play, the autistic bunch will not. They want love and affection 24/7 in excess. Like I was was saying, excess. They're constantly looking for extra love, extra caring, to know that they succeeded. They want much, much more attention than your average child. So they need that extra care. As soon as you leave that door, if you're gone for a few minutes, even if it's just to run to the store for a loaf of bread, they miss you. They crave that extra affection. They don't want to be alone. They're always nervous that maybe you're going to leave, you're not going to come back. I go out the door for a couple of minutes. They greet me at the door all the time. They're also very intelligent. Their studiousness and the intelligence come together hand in hand with an autistic child because they pay so much attention to detail. And they're just as smart as the average child, or the typical child, I should say. They're just as smart, if not smarter. But they are still children. And autism teaches us that just because they're a bit different, it doesn't make them any less. They are human beings. They are our children. We love them. They're a little bit different, a little bit outside the mold, but they remain children. They need to be treated that way. In conclusion, I hope this helps pass autism awareness to everybody. Feel free to pass this video on. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope today that you learned something about what it's like to raise autistic children. Thank you very much. Have a great day.